Hello everyone, my name is James. Welcome to Rising Potential. You're watching the Reign Series 2 Segment 6 Director's Commentary. This commentary is kind of a long time coming. I in my channel update on Machinima, I said, hey, I'm gonna be uploading sneak peeks and like trailers, and I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't uploaded director's commentary for segment 6, and this kind of falls in line and would be perfect for this type of content that I want to air. So here is the segment 6 director's commentary. I am currently eating ice cream because I'll be talking for the next 28 or 20 or 30 or so minutes, so I don't want to dry out my voice. So I don't mean to be rude while eating something while talking, but I just don't want to in the end go like, yeah, so back. You know, I don't want to have a I don't want to I don't want to have a dry voice. So I'm doing this commentary by myself, not because no one's available, but just because I really wanted to go into depth on the retrospective of Reign, how it began, where it is now, and the like the journey of Reign. The positives that have been successful through the show and the negatives that have happened through the show, and yeah, like a journey and just the future of Reign as well. So, sorry, I'm eating ice cream. Really good ice cream, actually. It's vanilla. I'm having a vanilla blend of vanilla ice cream and butter pecan ice cream. Originally, I would eat I would always love the ice cream in the butter pecan, but I would throw out the butter pecan because I didn't like the butter pecans. But as of recently, I've been eating the butter pecans, and I'm like, these are fucking good. So, yeah. So I guess this is gonna be more of a commentary on the series itself, but I will talk about segment 6. We have plenty of time. So, Reign. So originally, in the very beginning, Reign was actually gonna be a horror show. It was gonna be a like psychological type of kind of like Alan Wake, except more horror-ish. I made like this beta trailer a long time ago where it showed Tom Raines in like a field on the map Forge World, and I think it had like the green filter, and it was very like edgy, very gritty. Like, you know how the Halo Reach armor is like very dark and damaged? It was like that, except everything around Tom was like that. The atmosphere was very dark and damaged. And it was going to go that route, but it was, like back in the day, it was me and my friend Harris DeGudis who voiced the radio guy in Series 1. In Series 2, he's now voiced by Andres Larson. Or Andres Larson. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, changed the voice actors, which is a funny thing I'll talk about later on in this commentary. But yeah, originally Reign was going to be a like a sci-fi drama horror show, and I just kind of like lost interest in that idea, and he was going to go through with that, and he ended up changing the idea of Reign to a name called Shattered, which I don't believe is still in development. This was like 3 years ago, by the way. So I just didn't really feel that connection with the show Reign, and like obviously it was going to be raining all the time, which is why we decided to call it Reign. And we Harris actually came up with the name Tom, and I think it came up with his last name being Raines. I think that was me. It was like, regardless, me and him came up with Tom Raines, the character. And I just decided to change it. Like, I think I was at a time where I wanted to do new things with Machinima. I kept doing drama stuff. Back in the day it was Halo Wars, then it turned into Confederacy, now it's Inheritor. And I never really attempted comedy before. Actually, I did. In my original show, Spark of Victory, I tried comedy. It wasn't really that successful, so I tried going at it in a different approach. And during those times, I was heavily influenced by games like Catherine and later on the television show Californication on Showtime, same network that airs Dexter. So well, first off, Series 1 of Reign was heavily influenced by Catherine. A lot of the characters kind of got their personalities from Catherine because I was so inspired by the game. And I was like, this is an awesome game. And I got really inspired, so I took certain elements from Catherine and I blended them into my own little creation, which was Reign Series 1. And Ted was like, I forget the I forget the characters' names in Catherine. All I remember was Vince, and Tom was influenced by Vince. And I think Nikki was created completely new. I guess since Catherine was kind of like a sexual game, I decided to make Rain that really sexual show. And back when Rain was like, back when Series 1 was in development, I don't believe I ever saw a machinima that was like so sexual, that had like all these elements like boobs and like sexual jokes, and like actually having Spartan models like fuck each other. Like I never saw that ever, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And a lot of people at first were really turned off by Series 1 just because, again, it was like very mature. Like the content in there was like, I remember when it aired on Machinima, a lot of the top comments were like, I felt disturbed while watching this, or that was fucking weird, or oh my god, I can't believe there's a dildo in the fucking Machinima, this is odd. And I took that as compliments, because again, like, you never saw that in a Machinima, so I thought it was kind of cool to have that in a Machinima. And nowadays, Machinima is kind of very it's like a very serious work of art and production. So nowadays, these sexual themes are very common in Machinima. But I'm just happy to say that, in my opinion, I believe Rain was the first, if not one of the first Machinimas to adopt that type of idea into a Machinima, or just adopt it but really, really use it a lot. You know, every so often you would have your sex joke, but Rain was fucking like when someone said a sex joke, they'd actually go and actually do the fucking sex joke. Like, oh, I'm gonna masturbate, ha ha ha. And in Rain, she actually fucking masturbates, dude. So yeah, and like as the series evolved, we had characters like this guy on the screen. His name is Richard Schuyler Yupp, voiced by the amazing, talented voice actor Holy Junkie. Richard Schuyler Yupp is a sexual artist, and he's just fucking awesome. He's like, Richard's like, I'm not gay, I'm not bi, I'm not straight, I'm not a transsexual, I'm not asexual, I'm a fucking sexual artist, bitch. And he loves everybody. I love Richard, man. Holy Junkie did an awesome job, and every time I listen to his lines, I laugh, because it's so funny to listen to the guy. Like, he I've never met somebody like Richard who just loves everybody. Like, he's fucking, like he'll fuck girls, guys, and aliens. He'll fuck anything that has a hole. It's funny. And he's also, like, very friendly, which makes it all the better. But going back to Series 1, a lot of people liked it, which was great. And I love Rain. Rain was like the motif in the show. It would always be raining, and I really liked that. And Series 1 was very slow and like mellow, and Series 2 was very energetic and quickly paced. Like, the pacing was quick, and like as you can see in segment 6, like even in segment 4, there was just so much action, like action, and Series 2, in my opinion, I like it more than Series 1, just because more stuff goes on in Series 2, and it's a lot quicker. I think it's funnier, and the action scenes, I think, are fucking awesome. Because back in the day, I made like the Deus Ex Machina remake, and I did like, oh my god, like going back and watching like my action scenes, I made so many action scenes, and it was like over the top, fucking epic action scenes. And I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to say like I'm fucking amazing, but I was impressed. I like going back and watching my old work. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I fucking made that. And I remember making it and like how much of a bitch it was. So with Rain, I kind of wanted to adopt that nostalgic action scene back into Series 2, or back into Rain. So when Series 2 came along, that's when I had like those high packed action. But I think nowadays I wanted to make it more realistic and just more professional in a way. So like, you know, like have like those awesome camera angles and awesome effects and stuff. So that was Series 2. So Rain transitioned from like a horror to a comedy and sexual humor. Like I said, I was very influenced by Catherine, and Series 2 was heavily influenced by Californication, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And I did take scenes from Californication, and I did blend them into Rain. I don't like to say I copied them per se, but I guess I kind of did. Like the one scene that I can recall was in segment 3 where Ted gets a blowjob. That's actually a reference to Californication. Season 5, episode 5, I think. It's where Charlie Runkle gets a blowjob from a tranny. And I don't like copying stuff. I like saying referencing, because that's really what it is. Like, I'm referencing that scene. And I tried blending it into making it different, and I didn't try to exactly rip it off. I don't like ripping stuff off from shows. I like taking them and blending them into my own thing. But that particular scene, yes, that was literally a copy of the scene from Californication, just with a little bit of a few differences as it was setting up in Rain. But I don't mean to, be a douche by copying and ripping off people's others' works. I just like taking stuff from stuff that I like, and I kind of like to blend it up and make it my own. But in that case, I'll admit it wasn't really my own, because it was kind of a identical copy of the one from Californication. But anyway, lost my train of thought from this delicious ice cream. So series 1, series 2. Series 1 was more it was more mellow and calm. Series 2 ramped it up, and we have like episodes like segment 4 and segment 6 was just awesome to make. Like this scene right now where the professor's just preparing to like fucking execute Frank, and he's like, grab him by the wheels, and Mort's like, Mort's like, there are no wheels, and Frank's like, someone save me, and just I love it. In the original scripts for segment 6, this whole scene where the policeman, voiced by John, who's a part of Save Yourself Films, I think his name before was Phoenix Studios, who made the Hawk Legacy, and then Lobster's voiced by me, and this scene where they're fighting each other was not originally going to be in the script. It was going to be like a quick thing, but in the script I prolonged it because John was so fucking hilarious as the police guy. So I'm like, I have to use more of this guy, so I extended the scene, and I thought it was pretty funny, and more Lobster action. But Chloe's being a fucking psycho bitch. She wants to suck Tom's dick, and Tom's like, hell no. And new voice actors. So I've done a lot of stupid shit in my day. I've pissed a lot of people off, and specifically people like Tyler Moore and Jamie Zinn. Tyler Moore voiced the professor, Jamie Zinn voiced Ted, and Ted left. Jamie left, and now Joey Crozer voices Ted. Tyler Moore stuck around and finished the role of the professor, and they both did excellent jobs. Like, I fucking laugh every time I watch series 1 or series 2, and just listening to them, and I really like that the professor got a much bigger role in series 2, and that gave Tyler a chance to really exceed, and he did a marvelous job. I thought he did. I think the crazy professor was my favorite character in series 2. He did a great job. I loved it. So yeah, Rain, series 1, series 2. So yeah, segment 6 was the second hardest episode to make. Segment 4 was the hardest. It was like it was the worst time of my life doing recording, and I tackled the action scenes in pieces, and I did the same for segment 6. Like, you'll see the finale fight in segment 6 of series 2 with the Falcons and like the fire effects and the fucking running around. And there's a reason why I do really close camera angles, and specifically for the French guy here. He is holding a deactivated energy sword in the game Halo Reach. On screen on the show, I don't show that because my machinima filming style, I fucking hate when the characters hold the inactive sword. I know a lot of people do it, and we the viewer are supposed to ignore it like it's not really there. But for me, it just pisses me off, and I can't stand that it's there when we're not using it. Like, it'd be a difference if someone was using it, but had an energy sword out, and he was purposely deactivating the sword. That would make sense. If it's just there because it's fucking there, I don't like that. So, there's a way to get rid of all your weapons in Halo Reach, so I do that. Like, the characters have no weapons, but I don't want to show Leal carrying an inactive sword hilt, so I don't show his arm because that's what he's holding. So his angles are a lot more closer. And also, when I go out these action scenes in little bits, like in one game I'll have a falcon on the sky, and another game I'll have people running on the ground, and then I'll edit it to make it look like it's happening at the same time, but in reality, it's not. It's just separate games all thread together to make it look like it's happening in one big old game, which would look fucking awesome and would make my life a lot easier, but John Graham did this once. He likes doing stuff by himself. He appreciates all the help that people want to help him with, but he's like, I'd rather have full control. That's with me. I do get a lot of people asking me, like, oh, if they want help, and I do appreciate it, but I like to do things by myself because I'll have full control and no asshole will be jumping around the background like no one fucks up. I mean, I fuck up all the time, but I just like having that control. So in this scene, we have the aliens crashing through the fucking building and picking up Tom right before Chloe tries to suck Tom's dick. And Frozen in Time, the fucking series theme comes in, which is pretty sweet. We haven't heard it since segment 1, and I love that shot where Chloe like gets a beat and she just collapses. I love it. Originally, I had Izzy delay sigh or just like do a grunt during that scene. But I just love the angle so much. I'm just like, it's fucking awesome without any voice acting added. So I decided not to add it in. And then here, the policeman's like, fuck this, dude. I'm sick of this. I chased you guys through the city, and I lost you out of some weird coincidence. Fuck it. And he just gives up. And then Chloe's like, let's make out, Emma, since you're a fucking lesbian. And then here we see the aliens regroup with Lobster. And yeah, his name is Lobster, which I guess doesn't really make any sense because they refer to him as Lobster, the humans, but like the aliens, they would know his language, so they wouldn't refer to him as Lobster. But yeah, I guess now his name is officially Lobster, so I guess it does make sense. But yeah, they regroup, and like I love that just random, like that's what Rain is, like that's what Series 2 is. Like it's so fucking outrageous that. Like, how the hell was Tom going to get out of that situation? How the hell were the aliens going to save Frank? How the hell were everyone going to meet each other at the very end? Series 2 is how. Just some random fucking coincidence that they crash into a building that where Tom and his friends are, and they randomly get picked up by the Falcon while fucking crashing through the fucking building. Series 2 is just so extreme, and it's so out there, but I love it. And I think that's what makes it, in my opinion, awesome. And I just love it. And like this final scene, or like the final fight, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. The Professor, Jver Mort versus like everyone else. So badass. I love it. I was smiling, man. But my goal with Series 2 was just to have like the finale, make it fucking just yeah, just awesome is what I wanted to do, and this scene is just amazing. I love it. I love it. Like the action, all the characters are in the same spot. Most of the characters from the show are in one little room, just going at each other. And it's so cool to see like how they all interacted. Like in the beginning of Rain, the space characters would never interact with like the people on the ground, like Tom and Aaron. And now Frank's talking to Tom, and it's like fire and shit. I love it. I love it. Like just watching the show is just I laugh. I mean, and I think that's a good thing, watching your work and appreciating your work and being like, that's funny, or like, I like that, or what I did with that. I love this camera angle, by the way, where they just drop them. I love that angle. And how I did that was, I would have one person in the Falcon, and then I tried doing all 3 people at once. I tried dropping Aaron, Ted, and Tom, and what I would do is I would quit the game, and then their bodies would drop out of the Falcon. But for some reason, when 3 people quit in a Reach game and you have another 4th person, the game automatically ends. So that's why I had 2 angles where Aaron and Ted fell at once, and then another angle was Tom, because I couldn't do 3 people, because then the game would end, and then like the game over guy would say something, which fucks up the camera angle. So I had to do that in 2 shots, which is why there's 2 angles. But just watching the scene is just, man, awesome. Oh, and by the way, this entire segment was done with me and 4 controllers. I had no help at all. Series 2 was completely done by me. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, all of Series 2 was done by me. No, I had no help at all with acting it out. So that's why I do a lot of close quarter camera angles to make it look like it's happening at once. But if I kind of pulled my camera back, then it would just be like one guy in a custom game running around by himself. But if I push in a little bit, I can get rid of those boundaries to say, hey, yeah, this is happening at the same time, and it's not just me in a custom game by myself. And yeah, this angle. That was a hard camera angle to do, where it showed the aliens and the other guys shooting. And that, like, in that scene, there's 4 people. There's one in the there's Jver Mort in a Falcon, and then there's Skept, and then there's Grapes flying the Falcon. We don't see Lobster because he's not in that custom game. I had to follow the Falcon, and I honestly had to cut off Lobster, because if I didn't, it would just show, you know, 4 people, and in Halo Reach you can't have 5 people in a game; it's 4 maximum. So, like I said, the camera angles are very, they're very synchronized and in a way. So this upcoming scene, the only people who really didn't like the scene was Zed, but who gives a fuck what Zed thinks? I'm joking, but this was an interesting scene to do. I did all the effects myself. I used Action Essentials fire effects, and I made the fire blue because Frank's head is blue when he's on Reach, because there's more oxygen. In space, it's orange because there's less oxygen. This was a hard scene to do because I had to film the Machinima scene without the effects. Like, all the effects are post-production. So I had to film it in a weird way. So, with that, in the game, obviously, I don't destroy it with the fire. I had to, laser the Falcon and then cover it up with fire. That's awesome. I love that. This is fucking cool, too. I suck at editing. I never did this stuff before, but I thought I did a pretty decent job for my first time. I'm no longer a virgin when it comes to fire effects, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this was a hard scene. That the flamethrower, I fucked up that part of the bottom, you can see the outline, but when you see when you see Frank fucking fire fist the professor in the face and he gets flown back in the game, obviously there's no fire for him to be flown back from, so I had to I had to rocket the ground with the rocket launcher, and then I would have to show the blast and show the professor get ejected. So I obviously couldn't show Frank shooting Frank shooting the professor with a rocket launcher, because that wouldn't make sense in the scene. But in the acting out, I had to do that to make it look like he got blasted by fire, not by a rocket launcher. And I just love this fucking brawl of just boom, 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 and just blasted. So that scene took me, I think, a week to fully edit, because like I said, I wasn't good with the effects, and I didn't know how to do it myself. So I had to learn how the hell to edit fire effects, and it took me a week, and it was very challenging, but eventually got it, and in the end, I thought it looked awesome. And then this is where the professor loses. He's about to finish Frank off, and then he gets fucking ground pounded by the Falcon, and that's how he goes out. So, yeah, and then here's the aftermath of just the fight. I love how that happens. They go to rescue Frank, and then Frank ends up kind of rescuing everyone else, because the crazy professor is so fucking powerful that no one could beat him. Well, I guess I take that back, because Frank didn't beat the professor. The Falcon landed on the professor. I thought that was cool, how he shot down the Falcon, and then it comes crashing down on him after he's about to... he doesn't notice it, because I show the angle of it going down, but we never see it hit the ground, and then it hits the professor. I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, these scenes, I love how everyone's reunited, everyone's talking to each other, and it's one big happy reunion, but no one ever met each other, so it's not really a reunion. But I just thought that was cool how they all came together in the end. And that's what I wanted to accomplish with Series 2, is bring these characters together, but bring them together for a reason, not just they randomly show up. And since Series 2 was very crazy and action-packed, the ending scene I thought was perfect. So I thought it was awesome. I really enjoyed making this final scene for Series 2. This final action scene, I really enjoyed making it. And just seeing it come together was amazing. And back in the day, I wouldn't really admire my own voice acting, or I wouldn't really admire my works. I'd be very critical on myself. But I I've now gotten to a point where I can watch Reign Series 2 and even Series 1 and go, I'm happy with what I did. Like, I can say I like this show. I like what I did. Yes, I did make a few mistakes here and there, but overall, I'm quite satisfied with how it turned out. And I think that's awesome to say that you enjoy your work. And before, I was very critical on my own voice acting, but I feel like I did a good job with my voice acting. Granted, Grapes is kind of hard to understand, so I'll have to work on that. But overall, I thought I did a pretty good job. And people seem to like it on YouTube, so that's also good. I'm not the only guy in the boat who thought I did a good job. So yeah, that's Reign Series 2 Segment 6. I loved making it. I love making Series 2. I went through a lot of issues with voice actors because I did a lot of really stupid things that pissed off a bunch of people, but you learn from your mistakes, and I guess the best advice to do is sometimes keep your mouth shut and not piss people off, because it's really easy to piss people off. So I apologize, Tyler. I apologize, Jamie, and I apologize to anyone else that I upset. I didn't mean to upset anybody, but, you know, my fault. So that's Reign Series 2 Segment 6. So I guess really quick, I'll talk about the future of Reign, because Reign Series 2 Segment 6 does end on a cliffhanger. The professor says, oh, hey, it's still raining, Tom. And then Tom's like, fuck. So, like, yeah, Series 2 wasn't really about the rain. Series 1, they were kind of trying to figure out why it's raining. Series 2 was like, okay, it's still raining, and it's kind of, like, natural to us at this point, so we're not going to really worry about it. And then with just characters doing their thing. And then by the end, like, after everything's wrapped up in Series 2, they're just like, oh, wait, it's still raining. Fucking hell. It must not be just a conspiracy. Or no, it must not just be a coincidence. So, people have asked me if there is a Reign Series 3 coming out. And I didn't want to announce anything because I hate announcing stuff. I did this with Series 2 where I announced it back in January of 2012. And then the episode didn't come out till next year of January 2013. So I don't like saying something's coming out and then like for a fucking like lot of like months and year there's like nothing, like there's no talk about it. So I don't like announcing stuff until I have like a lot of stuff to back it up. But really quick, in this scene, we see Nikki's return. Nikki wasn't in Series 2 because the original voice actor, Amanda Kay, left for school, so I couldn't use her. So I took Nikki out of the story, and then I brought her back because I got a new voice actor for her. So, yeah. So, will there be a Reign Series 3? Like I said, I don't like announcing stuff. I don't like saying yes, and then nothing happens for several months or years, and then finally something does happen. Which is kind of funny because that's exactly what I'm doing with Inheritor, but now I'm trying to be more open about that. But Reign Series 3, I think it's kind of obvious, so I guess I will officially announce, yes, there will be a Reign Series 3. However, I will not showcase anything on the projects. I'm still working on scripts. I'm still working on recruiting people for voice actors, and I'm still playing around with ideas for the show. But there will be a Reign Series 3. More information about that will come later on. And I'm actually working on the outline as we speak, or I guess after this commentary, I'm going to go back to that. But yeah, with Series 3, my main goal is to really showcase this show, really propel it, and I want people to watch Reign Series 3. I want people to be excited for Reign Series 3. I want people to be like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the next episode. There'll be a lot of changes to Reign Series 3. It's called My New Direction. I think it's honestly, I mean, I can't really say this without proving it till later on, or I can't really prove it yet, but for now, I personally think that Reign Series 3 will be the best season out of Reign, and I think it's going to be one of the best Machinimas ever created in the world, because I think it's fucking awesome, and I hope you all stay tuned for updates on that show. I had a lot of fun making Series 1, had a lot of fun making Series 2, I cannot wait to start on Series 3, I mean, I can't wait to start making it into Machinima, but for now, I gotta work on the scripts and stuff. So anyway, thank you for watching. My name is James, creator of Reign, and I hope you enjoyed Series 2. Stay tuned for Series 3. And thanks for watching. This is Rising Potential. JKP Rising. Blah, 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 blah. See you guys later. Thanks for the support.